Sahab, Reverend and distinguished delegates and scholars from Bangladesh, Turkey, Pakistan, US, and elsewhere, dear colleagues of the International Islamic University and adjacent universities of Pakistan and Islamabad, Dr. Shahid Siddiqui Sahab, Dr. Munazza Yaqub Sahiba, my very dear students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a big honor for me, but the offset created by Dr. Mumtaz has really made me nervous, so I feel very nervous right now. And I feel that I also should not be standing amidst such stalwarts who would be speaking profoundly, as the word rightly used by Dr. Mumtaz, having a deeper insight of what globalization is all about. But I'll try my level best to remain cleverly simple and straight, I would say, eloquence of the street wisdom, just to make sure that I do not come in the way of the real intellectual thought. When Dr. Munazza Yaqub and our colleagues from Islamic University approached me, they said, you have to talk on the globalization and its impact on indigenous cultures. So I got, again, more nervous that the topic is extremely vast. So where would I start and where would I end? So then I thought that since categorically I was not specified to talk about it, so I will remain, with the permission of the chair and all our reverend audience, talk about everything that is going and coming across our lives amidst this onslaught of globalization that we've heard since, I feel, time immemorial. The overall impact of globalization has been put very clearly by Dr. Mumtaz. And he has used a very, very important word saying this, that be wary of its trend. Globalization apparently is a very positive thing. I'm also going to remain very positive about it. But somewhere in the line, hidden in between, we'll have to talk about its negative connotations as well. But at the same time, Dr. Mumtaz's word has to be taken very seriously, that there are certain elements on globalization effect which we need to be wary about. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is globalization? I'm not going to define it, because I have to complement this conference booklet that has been given to each one of you. I think one of the very few times that I've seen an international conference, and Dr. Saab, I must compliment, this booklet has a very good concept note talking about globalization, so I'm not going to define it. It is already defined. It's explained very clearly. But I'll define it in a different way. I read a book way back in 2006 written by Thomas Friedman. Title was, World is Flat. And that, according to me, is the simplest definition of globalization. The world is flat. Dr. Saab talked about McDonald's. Dr. Saab talked about all the international brands in the world which are a part of our lives, which in fact never initiated, were never produced in Pakistan, yet they are a part of our lives. So that is what you call the flatness of the world, flatness of the globe. My problem starts when I switch on the laptop and I have to straight away go to a portal called maybe Facebook, YouTube, which in fact 2-3 years back was not a part of my life. And the moment I open the YouTube, the most oft-seen video is somebody sneezing very differently in one part of the world and becoming a part of everybody's household in the next 5 seconds. Viewed already by millions of viewers across the world, and then also viewed by me, and then so many after me. So that is what you call globalization. Nothing in the world is now becoming just restricted to one corner or one part of the world. That lady sitting over there at one corner and that gentleman sitting in the other corner would definitely eye at one point of time to make and believe and prove that the world is flat. So the overall aspect of globalization is very positive. I will try my level best, sir, and all my reverend colleagues and my respected audience to remain very positive about globalization. So let's talk about things gradually. I have some 25 minutes left. When I talked about the YouTube insertion in 5 seconds, the question arises, how did it happen? When did it happen? Why did it happen? What was the actual use and reason and justification of having this YouTube onslaught. Why should this information be with me? What benefit do I get from this information? And what does it do, good or bad, for my life? So these are questions that we need to have in our mind. If you remember, Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, said, even if you have to go to China, don't hesitate. I always used to ask my mother, what is this China factor? Why do we talk about China? I don't understand. China is our neighboring country. We're not that far from each other. So she explained to me in very simple words. She said, by China, Holy Prophet at that point of time meant distance, unlimited scope, knowledge, go to all the extent, go all the way. So these were the words which actually described and defined the word universality. I would repeat again, universality. And who else would be a symbol of globalization other than our Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad? Universal and global. Whatever learning we as Muslims and so many as non-Muslims took from him have now become a global mindset. You all know very well, and who else would know it better than the Pakistanis, that when we go abroad we see the real implementation of hukukul ibad in non-Muslim countries. They do pehel in salam, whereas we don't even do that. They smile at you. We have forgotten how to smile. We might smile, but from a mile, and nobody would see that. So, Holy Prophet's sayings, his actions, I feel strongly while Dr. Munazza gave me this task to talk about globalization. Dr. Mumtaz, I really felt there was nobody better than our Holy Prophet who could be a real symbol of globalization. All times to come and pervasive. This is another meaning of the word globalization. Pervasive, everywhere. You can't just have it outside your soul, your life. Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, is one symbol who shows what is this all about. Let me go a little further, as I have promised you that I'll remain positive. I do feel that sometimes we were talking about telephone, BlackBerry. I also bought a Samsung mobile, very costly, and I realized that I did not really know the potential of that phone, unless just last night, while I was doing something, suddenly I realized there was a beep coming, and my phone was actually on a Skype mode, and a friend of mine from Melbourne was calling me at 8 p.m., and I suddenly realized that not only that I'd accepted it as a video call, I could talk to her, I could see her, and she had a problem. She wanted me to solve it urgently, and I saw that through my telephone I could talk to her. We talked for 1 hour, and that's why it took me so long that if whatever I had to write, I had to sit till 2 a.m. in the morning to complete it, because I was too busy globally trying to help my friend through that telephone, through the video call, and God forbid, whatnot. She also told me that through Google iSearch, she was able to locate where I am living right now in Pakistan. I loved it. I enjoyed it. She's an Indian. She's not a Pakistani, my friend that I'm talking about. I felt so good about it. Look, this small piece of technology has put my country in the middle of attention. My friend can actually locate me through the Google map, location, latitude. Everything was good. I felt very good about it. But since I was also told to talk about the pros and cons, I realized something which is also written in the booklet, that isn't it also at the same time invading our privacy? Now, Dr. Mumtaz has already created that mindset. He said that we need to remember that after all, the globalization effect was the, if I use the word in Urdu, ikhtara of the first world. There was no better way to enter into our systems without having the connotation of globalization. So that it has that marketing formula that you adopt it, and then be a part of it, and then give away everything that you have to them so that they use it, exploit it. I will not use the word abuse it, but you know it's being abused even now. You would now be seeing from my body language, I was talking to Munazza that I've written a lot, but it is my weakness and my deficiency. I can't read from it. I become dyslexic. Loves नाचने लग जाते हैं. उसकी सबसे बड़ी वजह ये है that you become so overawed by these things, these relatable things, When Dr. Saab immensely and time and again thanked the youth of our country, I felt so proud of the fact that whatever fears and apprehensions we might talk about in